Hi, happy December. Baby, it's cold outside here in Washington and we are seeing a lot of people coming in with very, very dry skin. I'm seeing a lot of patients coming in saying that no matter what they're putting on their skin, they just cannot get ahead of this cold weather. And so I wanted to share some winter skincare tips. And a lot of times it's small changes that add up and make a big difference in how your skin looks and feels. So I wanted to share winter skincare tips with you. And the first tip relates to water. And I know I've said before that hydration relates to water and moisture relates to oil, and winter skincare really starts with hydration because winter cold air is dry air. It's not just cold air, it is dry air. And when the indoor heat comes on, that is really dry air. So I like to start at home and start with the recommendation that you add a humidifier to your bedroom. And I know the indoor air can be humidified, but it's really different if you put a humidifier right next to your bed. And there now are these little tiny portable humidifiers where you just take a bottle of water and screw it onto the little humidifier. They're about $40. And the nice thing is that you can just use it for a season and not have to worry about cleaning it and keeping it season to season if that seems like a daunting task for you. So you just take a little bottle of water like this, put it on the humidifier right by your bed and get great humid tropical air on your skin all night long. Of course, you can get a more major humidifier and maintain it season to season, which is important because otherwise the humidifier can breed all sorts of nasties if you don't take care of it. But it makes such a difference to sleep in humid air rather than really dry indoor heat. And it lets your skincare do a better job because it can bind water to your skin all night long. Which leads me to my next step, which is to take advantage of that time when you're in the shower, in the bath, and turn your bathroom into a portable rainforest experience during the winter. So my rule of thumb is if you can't write your name on the mirror when you're taking a shower or bath, it's an opportunity to turn your bathroom into a real spa experience. So close the door when you're showering or taking a bath. And if that's not enough to really create humidity in that environment, take a towel like this and roll it up and put it under a crack in the door and really try to create a seal. Now, I've seen tips in magazines before where they say, just run the shower or run the bath and just sit in that humid air, but that's not the most green tip. So I would say, don't do that just to do it. But if you're already taking a shower or bath, really seal off the door and try to harness that humidity and soak up that hydration from the air, because hydrating skincare is going to pull hydration from the more humid to the less humid environment. And you don't want that more humid environment to be your skin. Because in the winter, one of the mistakes I see is people use all this hydrating skincare and walk out into the dry outside air. That's actually going to pull hydration from your skin into the dry air, and that's not great. In fact, it's going to dry out your skin more. So if you're going to use hydrating skincare, which is a wonderful thing to do, apply it in a humid environment. So get out of the shower or bath and put on your skincare in that nice humid air. Then you want to seal it in. So moisturizers seal in water, that's their role. And in the winter, we often want to up the intensity of our moisturizers. And if you don't want to totally overhaul your skincare regimen, which makes sense, we don't necessarily want to get all new products every season, you can make what you have on hand from fall or even from summer richer by adding in oils. So I like, this is a Natura Bissé, Diamond Extreme Oil, and this one for body, the Côte de Lis Divine Oil, are great mix-ins. You can add them to something you already have on hand from a prior season to make it richer. Now, if you're looking for something that's a grocery store product, grapeseed oil can work well. It has a lot of antioxidants, it's very soothing, and you can mix it in to, let's say, a body cream that you already were using from another season, make it richer, help it lock in water better. Now, a rule of thumb if you're shopping, let's say in a drugstore for body cream and you're feeling super dry, is just pass by everything that's in a pump. Because if it's in a pump, then they've added water to it to help thin it out and pass through that pump without clogging. And if you have really dry skin, you want something that's so thick that it has to be packaged in a tube. This is La Mer body cream, which is super soothing and nourishing, or in a jar. Something thin enough to pass through a pump, again, is going to be too watered down for super dry winter skin. Now, there are some lotions that are really, really nourishing and don't necessarily adhere to that rule, but if you're looking on your own and you want an easy rule of thumb, look for the tubes and the jars. Now, going into a little more esoteric skincare tips for the winter time. Serums can make a big difference if you're going to cocktail skincare at home, but something that can trip you up is if you apply a serum through which your moisturizers can't absorb. And the ingredient that can really cause this to happen is silicone. Silicone makes things feel silky and smooth, but it is an occlusive. It forms a barrier and it's hard for moisturizers to absorb through it. So if you're not sure how to label read and look for silicones, ICONE, icone, like silicone, is what you should look for on the label. So dimethicone is a common silicone. And a good way to check if you're unsure about label reading is put a little of your serum on the back of your hand and then go put some water on your hand. You can either just rinse it under the sink, you could mist it with water, and see if it's beading up at all. That's a good sign that you have some heavy silicones in that serum, and what you're applying on top is not going to sink in very well. The last thing you want is to put on a serum, layer on all this wonderful skincare, and not have your moisturizer sink in. So if you are going to use a serum in the winter months, make sure again it's something through which your other layers of skincare can absorb so you end up nicely moisturized. I love oil-based serums in the winter because they're very moisturizing. This is one by Caudalie. It's an antioxidant dry oil. Their Premier Crew is great during the winter. Try to avoid alcohol-based serums. Alcohol is very drying, and if you put something drying on your skin, you're just playing catch-up after that, trying to get your skin back into a hydrated and happy state. Speaking of hydrated and happy, this is exciting. This is La Mer's not yet launched Revitalizing Hydrating Serum. So I got a sneak peek of this back in October and have been enjoying it ever since. And what's really nice about this hydrating serum is this is designed to be cocktailed. La Mer is a global brand, and they see that in Asia there's a lot of demand for multi-step skincare regimens. So they designed this to have other products layered on top of it. So this sinks in very quickly, and it's designed to be layered under moisturizer. And I think it's interesting that they're launching a hydrating serum during the winter because it speaks exactly to this phenomenon of using a humidifier, trapping humidity in your bathroom when you're getting ready in the winter and putting your moisturizers on, that in the winter the air is so dry and what we really need next to our skin is water. So this is a great texture, super, super lightweight, and this just feels like a big drink of water for your skin, which we sometimes think about hydrating in the summer months with lightweight products, but I think this is a very smart launch for them in the winter months because what we need is water next to the skin. And we know from clinical studies in dermatology that when skin gets inflamed, it loses water more quickly, and that helping to calm inflamed skin in large part relates to helping normalize that water loss. So another tip I just wanted to mention in this video, because I see a lot of children at this time of year with eczema and very inflamed skin, is if you or a kid in your family has persistently dry skin and it's red and it's itchy, do see a board certified dermatologist and get it checked out, because sometimes there can be more to the story. It could be dry skin that's tipped over into eczema or something that would merit more specific treatment. So if adding oil to your moisturizer and sealing off the door when you shower and these kinds of tips are not making enough of a difference, then sometimes getting a bit of professional help can help make the difference and calm things down, because it's no fun to be super dry and itchy over the holidays. So I hope that these tips are helpful and that this will enable you to have a happy holiday season with your skin looking and feeling its best. Let us know if you have any additional questions. And we wish you very happy holidays. I think we'll do one more of these before the holidays. And until then, have an enjoyable but chilly December.